back to I Did This Instead of Killing Myself, a stand-up comedy and lifestyle podcast I host out of my apartment. My name's David Bakker. My guest today is comedian Michael Garrick. Michael is a very funny stand-up comedian from the greater Columbia, South Carolina area. He is the host of the Pop and Culture podcast. If you're watching on video, I actually have his cup here. He has some merch for his podcast, so yeah, go check that out. On this episode, we talk about Michael's background as a Jehovah's Witness and how he transitioned from that world into stand-up. We talked about our mutual stories of sobriety. He and I both stopped drinking about a year ago, so we talked about that. And we also talk about the name of this podcast and where that came from, so you'll hear that story as well. Really appreciated Michael's perspective and enjoyed our conversation. Hope you enjoy it. Here it is. Welcome back to I Did This Instead of Killing Myself. My guest today, Michael Garrick.
Thank you so much for having me on, man.
Thanks for coming. Joe Cool today. Michael's rocking a Snoopy t-shirt. I'm a fan, man. I like it.
Thanks, bro.
Do you, I'm trying to remember what you wear on stage normally. Do you like to wear funny t-shirts and change it up for when you do stand-up?
I just like to be comfortable, man. So it's usually just black or blue jeans and some kind of t-shirt that has some kind of like pop culture icon logo or reference, you know. Just as long as I'm comfortable, man. Like, so far I haven't had to like perform with anyone that was like, we need to wear a suit. Yeah. Because I understand like there are a few suit comedians. Yeah. And the ones I've worked with that like they wear suits, I'll ask them like, hey, do you need, you know, for the next 2 shows, do you need me to wear suits? And yeah. They say no, and I'm like, thank God.
Yeah. Well, we just had Jalen Orr on the podcast. You're friends with Jalen too, right? So he came in a suit. Well, not a suit. He had a, you know.
He came right after work.
He had a black tie, slacks, and a dress shirt on. But he said he's kind of thinking at getting more formal with it. And I said I wasn't there yet. I'm still most comfortable in kind of jeans and a t-shirt.
Yeah, like I want the crowd to know, hey, like you're getting a piece of me. Like
yeah.
Like, if I wear a suit, I just feel like it just wouldn't be me. Like it would just feel like a character.
Right. Well, you have nothing against Jehovah's Witness, but you have a joke about Jehovah's Witnesses.
Oh yeah, I was a Jehovah's Witness for like 22 years. Yeah, so
22 years. Yeah. They dress pretty formally,
yes,
right?
All the time. I wore a suit and a tie, dress shoes. From 3 to 5 times a week for 22 years of my life. Yep.
Wow. Okay, so this is a little bit of freedom from the formal wear.
So much so, man.
Okay, I gotcha. I love it.
I wear suits to weddings and funerals now.
Weddings and funerals? Yeah. My job doesn't require formal wear, and I don't know if I could ever go back. I'm kind of, yeah. But Michael is a very funny stand-up comic. He's from Columbia, South Carolina. And I'm trying to remember the first time I met you. I think it was probably at Comedy Zone at the Thursday night show.
Thank you so much for having me, man. I'm actually, I can tell the audience a little more, I'm actually from Winsboro, South Carolina.
Winsboro.
I live in Columbia now. But yeah, if you've never been to Winsboro, don't go. It's a very little town.
Yeah. Well, at any point correct because I may have a lot of this wrong.
Oh, no, that's cool. Like, I like to rep Winsboro just so I can, like, if anybody knows, like, hey, you're from Winsboro, like, you can make it out too.
Heck yeah. When you hit it big, Winsboro, you don't forget where you came from.
Oh, I can't wait to forget. Winsboro's so small, they lost Walmart.
Oh, they did?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that is pretty small.
Yeah, they
are. Walmart could go in any small town.
Nah, Walmart killed all the small mom and pop shops, and they were like, you know what, we've done enough damage, let's go.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So.
Corporate.
But they got a new Family Dollar, so good for them.
Okay, good deal. So it's Winsboro is the name of it.
Yep, Winsboro. Yep.
So that's just a podunk South Carolina town. There's not much going on there.
Nothing.
Does your family still live there? Any of your family?
Yeah, unfortunately, yeah. I wish some guys
don't like to go back and visit.
No, I'm just fellowship, so I can't talk to my family or see my family.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, it's all good
because of the Jehovah's Witness thing.
Oh yeah, it's all good though.
I don't mean to touch on a sore subject.
Oh no. It's normal now.
What do they think about you doing comedy? Are they aware that you do comedy?
I'm pretty sure they know, but I haven't talked to them, so I don't know.
Yeah, that's that can be hard.
Yeah, any conversation I try to have is like, hey, are you gonna come back? And it's like, no, I'm okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, not now.
Yeah, you're having too much fun, right?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
It's kind of always a weird thing. I don't hear comedians talk about it a lot, but explaining to your family how, like, what you do as a stand-up. I mean, you have a unique situation with the religious thing being a real big barrier, but I kind of feel weird talking about this stuff to my family.
What do you mean when it comes to comedy?
Yeah, like having them come to a show, or like, you know, if you have any jokes that are maybe edgy or maybe not quite, like, you know, we'll go anywhere with jokes. So like,
yeah, well, like I said, I don't talk to my family, so like I know they never, you know, they can't come to the shows because I'm just fellowship. But like, I do get jealous when I see people with their family, because like only thing I can do is invite friends. I can't have any family.
yeah,
But yeah, I get jealous a little bit, but it's all good. If I ever had to talk to my family about stand up, it would just I don't know what the conversation would be. It would just be like, you know,
I think they would be very pleasantly surprised if they saw you, because I was gonna say, like, my first impression of you when I saw you at Comedy Zone was like, you're very, very kind, very likable, very soft spoken.
Thank you.
Like, you were like the nicest. Like, you know, just your stage presence and everything was yeah, very likable, and I loved your jokes and especially what you'd say, like, and you'd say this too much, I think, but you'd say that's how jokes sound before they're funny.
Yeah, man, you gotta have something, man, because the open mic, like I think open mics are meant for bombing. Like when I kill at an open mic, it's always like, good, all that worked, and when I bomb, it's like, thank God no one paid me to tell these jokes. Like,
But I think you're too hard on yourself, because I remember you've said that before. Like, he'll say a joke punchline, and then you'll sometimes say that's how jokes sound before they're funny. But I'm like, dude, that was hilarious, and you did get laughs. But
yeah, it's probably just in my head. But you were the same way, man. You were nice, you could definitely tell that you were just getting started, because you were kind of like, I don't know how this is gonna go, and then you went up there and you did great.
Well, you're too kind. That might not have been the first time, but yeah, I appreciate that, man. I know we talk about jokes and like how edgy to be. Like, some of my stuff is really edgy.
Yeah.
And
but you're so nice that, like, I truly believe you get away with it, man. And it just comes from your character, man. Like, I'm not gonna spoil any of your jokes, but you definitely have jokes that were like, people know, like, is a character. Like, you have a couple jokes where people are like, there's no way this guy's like this in real life.
Hopefully, yeah. I maybe need to nice it up a little bit.
Be you, man.
But
Like, be you on stage. We have one of the few things that you can do, careers that you can do, where like you literally get on stage, you tell people what you think, and you can get paid for just being you. Yeah. So I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, if you got some jokes coming up, they're like, you know, oh man.
Yeah. So, some that are way over the line.
Yeah.
But yeah, it cracks me up too when you encounter the harder parts of stand up. Like, I remember last week specifically, there was a woman in the front row that was heckling, and you are so nice.
Oh yeah, me.
But this woman deserved to get her ass chewed out because she was being rude. And I was like, dude, like, you were about to let her have it. And you kind of did. I'm trying to remember what you said to her.
I didn't let her have nothing. No, in case you see this, ma'am, I did not let you have it. You didn't see.
I hope she's not watching. She was a really rude audience member.
Yes, very much. You didn't see her big husband. That's why.
What did she say to you?
She called me the B word, and it was a part where I talk about I'm a certified nursing assistant, and I have a joke about it.
Yeah.
But I said, like, I'm a CNA, I'm a certified nurse assistant, and she was like, she said you're a B word, and I stopped, and I was just like, hey, you calling me a B word? And I was like, wow, I drove all the way up here for you to call me B word, and I was about to say something, but then I saw her husband, and her husband was a stocky fella.
Oh my god!
And I was just like, not right. And I think I said something like, what I said was, all right, 7 comedians after me, guys. This is what you got to look forward to. And then I went on with the rest of my set.
Yeah.
But that's how I ended up winning.
Knowing you, that's a scathing thing for you to say. Because, I mean, you're so polite that.
Yeah. But that's how I ended up winning, because that was a competition they were having. And one of the two judges, they were like, the fact that I didn't go in, that's why they let me go to the next round in the competition.
Right.
They were like, you know, you're not a headliner. So the idea is you shouldn't be competitive with the crowd if you're just the host of the feature. Yeah,
I think you handled it perfectly, because it wouldn't be right to just ignore it completely. You acknowledged it, but you also, didn't go overboard.
I mean, it was a learning lesson. Like, I'm proud of myself. I'm also like, her husband is the reason why I'm going to the next round. Because, like, really, she looked like she had done meth. Like, she had the little stuff on her face.
Yeah.
Like, whatever people that, I don't know if you know anybody that does meth, but, like, they have, like, stuff on their face.
Oh, she might have been into the meth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not might.
Oh, she thinks she definitely was.
She's definitely selling a lot of her husband's stuff for drugs.
Gosh.
Yeah.
You get some interesting characters at the open mics.
Yeah, apparently, man.
Wow. So how long have you been doing comedy? I know I've asked this before, but
off and on, a total of 3 years.
3 years.
A lot of off though.
A lot of off.
A lot of off for for getting my mind right reasons, and it's good to be back in it. Like it's different when you know you're funny, like you know, and then when you think you're funny. When you know you're funny, it's like, yeah, I can get on stage, I can do this. I know it's not funny, and I know it is funny, and I'm just so happy to be doing it.
How long? Because I'm like 9 months in. How long did it take you to develop that sort of self-assurance? Because I feel like self-doubt is a big thing, or like you feel like you're not sure exactly. Any given night could go any different way. How long did it take you to get like really confident to where you're like, there's something here. I may be good or bad any given day, but I can do this, you know, like.
When I was a teenager, I really got into like Richard Pryor, Red Fox, and when I was 19, I went to the Comedy House in Columbia, South Carolina, and totally bombed. Like bombed bad.
Wait, you did it? You got up that early?
Mm-hmm. And I bombed so bad that I didn't do it for a while. Plus, I was still a Jehovah's Witness, so it's not like I was supposed to be doing it anyway.
Right.
So.
So you were 15, you said, when you went
19.
up? 19.
So years later, I got back into it, the comedy scene in Columbia, and I saw some of the comedians, and I was just like, you ever like finish somebody's joke? Or like you know what the punchline was going to be.
Correct. It's too easy. It's too predictable.
And like I noticed I was doing it with a lot of comedians. So I went up to the open mic. It was a place called New Brooklyn Tavern. And luckily I killed. Like, and they were hacky jokes. They were not like remarkable jokes. Like one joke was like, I'm dating an older woman now. And like older women come with stuff new young women don't. Like she has a washer and dryer. Like real hacky stuff.
Okay.
You know, just. And I went downstairs. I had a bag full of quarters. I went downstairs like, we supposed to do laundry. Then she pulled the curtain, and I was like, oh yeah, watch. It was, looking back on it now, it was not.
Are you bailing on the joke real quick?
Yeah, I don't remember the joke well at all. I remember they laughed. It was like.
No, that's great.
But yeah, so that came up, and then I got divorced, and I just didn't find anything funny for a while, so I stopped doing it. So it's really good to get back into it.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I kind of wanted to go back to like, you know, when you were 19, and you know, I don't know what it's like. So being raised as a Jehovah's Witness, it's very strict.
Yeah, very strict.
Very
man.
strict.
It's they cracked the whip pretty hard. It's just a very strict religion, and I blame myself because it's just like, it's one of those things like, if you don't know, you don't know. Like I partially blame myself, and then I can't do anything but blame myself. It's one of those things where like. People feel like you're not controlled in a religion because it's like you can always leave, which is true. You can always leave as Joe Witness. You don't have to stay in that religion.
But that's hard if it's what you've been brought up in.
Yeah,
totally.
But that's all your friends. That's all your circle. If you leave, you don't have anyone.
Right.
Like you have nobody if you leave. Luckily, my ex-wife, when I left, I just moved in with her, and like that didn't work out. But like it was good that I had somebody, a connection with someone. So
yeah.
But yeah, just to say I left, just to leave. It really wasn't an option, but like that last year of being a Jehovah's Witness, I never went to the Kingdom Hall.
You never went to what?
They don't call it church; they call it the Kingdom Hall.
Oh, okay.
Like that last year, I never went.
Okay.
And yeah. So.
Well, I'm curious about like. It's
sex.
Forgetting. No.
And I was like, oh, you gonna keep having sex? I was like, yes. I was like,
that wasn't where I was gonna go.
I was like, you gotta go now. Okay.
No, I'm just really curious about how somebody could go from that realm to stand up, because it's like that's really a far leap to me, because like even the average person who's not brought up in a strict religious upbringing, it's a big leap for them. But for you to go from, do you think it was more attractive to you because it's like, wow, this is creative, this is kind of rebellious?
But it isn't. I have that nervousness before I get on stage. Just like I respect the craft. Like I should be nervous.
Yeah.
I shouldn't just feel like, oh, I'm funny, I'm gonna kill. But literally, man, I've been going to people's doors since I was 7.
That's true.
So
yes.
So like that, to be knowing that like I don't know what's behind this door. I don't know how many dogs they have that might bite me. Like I've talked to random people like since I was 7. Like,
Dude, yeah, this is a dumb moment. I should have thought of that. You probably have the thickest skin of anyone. Because door to door, I mean, it feels like selling, kind of, right?
yeah,
Like a
and
sales
then
job.
and then when I was a Joe Winters, like I had to like give talks and like read the Bible in front. So like I'm
So you've done
used to
public
be-
speaking? Oh,
yeah,
man.
so like it was it. So like
Man.
yeah,
Maybe Jehovah's Witnesses are like, groomed to go do stand-up. They have some basic skills.
If you meet Andre Copeland, I think he grew up in the I don't think he was baptized, but he grew up with Joe Winters. And
Okay.
he, you can like it's weird because it's like if you meet someone that used to be a Joe Winters, like if you were a Joe Winters, you know, like it's just for starters
You can tell?
For starters, we use our hands way too much when we talk. That's just the number one thing. Like I don't know, it's just something we always do. And then just some of the mannerisms, you're like, oh yeah, he grew up.
Yeah.
So I talked to him about it. He agreed. Like it's just one of those things where like you're trained for public speaking at such a young age that when it comes to stand up, it just
Yeah. Well, so I do a sales job, and I was when I started doing it more, I was a little worried. Like, could I have time to do both? And but sales, like door to door, cold calling, I don't have to do a ton of that. But there's I feel like there's elements of stand up that are similar. You gotta have to have that thick skin and courage, and there's the repetition of continuing to do it, continuing to make calls. So I think it's good. It's good for my selling. I mean, it helps me do better, I think.
I'm not gonna ask you what you sell, but do you sell a need or do you sell a want?
My company would say I sell a need.
Okay.
I do. So it's healthcare stuff, but it's the need is not perceived.
I got you.
So
Like
you're
life
trying
insurance?
to not life insurance. One thing.
like the same thing where like you need life insurance.
One of my products I would compare to that because
Okay.
it protects against an incident happening.
Okay.
That we know does happen. But the other stuff is kind of like improving safety in
Okay.
healthcare.
I got you.
So you could do all of these surgeries without the products I'm selling. It's possible, but we're trying to be more forward thinking, and they could do it in a safer, better way.
I got you.
And we're just respectfully to the hospitals, they're just maybe behind in these categories. So we want to help educate them and bring them along. But it's not an easy thing to hear. You kind of have to,
I got you.
build trust and do that over time. But kind of like building trust with an audience. Like you can't go into an edgy, crazy bit with
Yes.
if they don't know or like you.
What's the best no you got? Like the best no. And when I mean best no is like, well, we're both because I used to sell life insurance and I've sold different
Best meaning worst, like
yeah like okay, for example, we're both salesmen. So
yeah.
if you went to Sam's Club or something like that, and you, of course, there's gonna be some direct TV guy there.
Uh-huh.
Your number one answer should be, "Oh, I have it at home. I already have it." That
Yeah.
way, they have no reason to bother you.
Yeah.
What's like your number one they give you when they don't want it, but they don't say no?
Well, I don't know if I can answer that directly because no sales don't happen in one conversation, but I can tell you a really bad story where not only did I get told no, but I got temporarily kicked out of the hospital.
Oh man.
I'll tell it really quick. Basically, this person, it's not in my current territory. This is like years ago. I can't believe it. Okay. So I was trying to sell this equipment to this hospital, and I had a surgeon that really wanted this equipment.
Okay.
But the administrator, the person who was in charge of purchasing, would not meet with me. And I thought I needed this deal to get to my goal. So I tried to, politely go to her and meet with her and plead my case, but she just radio silent, wouldn't talk to me. So I was like, well, there's nothing I could really do. So I went to the surgeon and I said, hey, like, I know we're trying to get this done, but I don't know what to do because I can't get a hold of this person. Like, I don't know if there's anything you could help with, maybe talk to her. And he's like, well, I could go to the CEO. So he went over her head and talked to the CEO of the hospital. And it got back to the administrator that I had talked to the surgeon. And she got so mad that she called me up on a conference call and said, David, we know you did with Dr. Smith. I don't know. I don't remember what his name was. Actually, I do, but I'm not going to say it. And she said, you are no longer welcome at this facility. All the staff has been informed of this. If you come to the facility anyway, such and such is going to happen and blah, blah, blah. And I was like in tears in my car. Like I thought I was fired. I thought, whatever. And I told my manager, I was like, this is what happened. Like we need this order, but I just talked to the surgeon and he went over her head and blah, blah, blah. And to my manager's credit, he said, dude, I got your back 100%. Like, maybe you didn't go about it exactly the right way, but this'll calm down. We'll be okay. And it ended up working out, but that was a pretty strong no and a pretty bad no. It ended up working out. I mean, it kind of came across eventually as like a misunderstanding of, and I was too aggressive. I made a mistake sort of, but messy things happen like that in sales and eventually, it all panned out okay. But at the time, dude, I thought my life was over. I was like,
I'm glad it worked out for you, man.
Yeah.
My worst thing that happened to me in sales, and it was horrible, man. Like this woman, I sold life insurance for this company, and long story short, this woman literally told me, it was like, I don't need no damn life insurance. Like, just kept, sorry for cursing, I apologize.
No, you're fine.
I don't need no D-word life insurance. And I was just like, ma'am, yeah, better, right? And I was just like, she's like 31. I was like, no, you get a good, good price on it, blah, blah, blah. She was like, no, I don't need it. What's going to happen to me? I'm going to die tomorrow?
Yeah. Did she die? Yeah. She died?
Yeah.
I should be laughing at somebody dying. For some reason, you telling this story is funny to me.
Okay. I love how you were like, it ain't me. Like, this is
some of my jokes are kind of like that.
This is only. But yeah, she had a heart attack, man.
Oh my gosh.
And her family I guess her mom knew that she was meeting with me.
Mm-hmm.
And I had to be like, nah, your daughter did not get it.
Oh my gosh.
So
lesson learned.
Yeah, I mean, I was sure.
Bye next time.
Yeah. And this how horrible my coach was. They didn't call it in this company. They didn't call them managers. They call it coaches. And my coach was like, "You use that story every time you go sell life insurance." I was like, "What? Why would I use that story every time?" He's like, "I guarantee you'll get at least 20 sales a month." I was like, "Really? Okay."
Yeah, yeah. It's good to point to stories. Stories are good because they like tie into emotion and it's true,
Yeah, I did get 3 sales that week after that.
You did?
I did.
So she did not die in vain.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Oh gosh.
We did this podcast besides killing ourselves.
Yeah, but yeah.
So
did this instead of killing myself.
So it's your podcast, but can I ask you just like a few questions though? Like,
yeah, you can.
When it came to the name, man, this is a very clever name. Like, did this it just popped up in your mind, or you went through a couple different names?
I can't take credit completely for the name. I don't like to think of it as I like to think of it as like a tribute to this person as opposed to like stealing it. You could make that argument, but it's based on a bit that Louis C.K. did. That's where it inspired me from, because first of all, I had a lot of anxiety about starting a podcast, so I was like, because it's silly to think who would want to listen necessarily.
Exactly.
I didn't know. Yeah. So Michael Garrick, pause real quick. He runs his own podcast, the Pop and Culture Podcast. He's a great,
thanks.
Example for a lot of the comics who've, started out, talk about pop culture. It's awesome. So check that out.
Please check
that's
it out.
That's why he's asking me questions. He's used to being the interviewer. So I'm like, Michael, I'm trying to know about you, but
yeah, that's my fault. Yeah,
no, you're good.
Forgot where I am.
No, I like it because I'm not used to talking so much. But okay, so back to the name.
Yeah.
So in Louis' new special, Sincerely, he has this bit about going into a little shop, and a little shop where like this woman who runs it has like little knickknacks and stuff, and he has a bit about walking in there and feeling awkward about making eye contact with her, and being peer pressured to buy something, and he wishes he could just say what he was really thinking, like I don't like this at all, like I just want to throw these crafts on the ground and just stomp on them.
As long as he doesn't jack off, yeah.
What's that? Yeah, exactly, yeah. Louis, gosh. But anyway, he was like, oh, he's looking at one of these. He goes, you made this instead of killing yourself? And that's the punchline to the joke. And I just watched that special, and I was thinking about all this stuff, and I was literally writing out on the table like a hangman, like with a friend of mine, Lana, who she's also into podcasting or TikTok actually. But we were just brainstorming, and I was like, this is the most pathetic podcast ever. Like, this is your little pet project. Like, really? This is your podcast? Really? You did this instead of killing yourself? This is how pathetic this is? That was the spirit of like,
okay,
kind of where the name came from. And I just didn't want it to seem like this, like, it's whatever this is. But that's kind of what
you have something good going here, man. You have a good setup, man. I'm excited, man.
And that was like in July. So that was, I didn't actually start this until a couple weeks ago. And I didn't really know where to take it, but doing stand-up, like, comics have really interesting stories and are really thoughtful people. So all of a sudden I have all these new friends now, and I had less anxiety about doing it because it's more about, like, my friends. It's not about what I'm trying to say as much, hopefully.
Oh, yeah, bro. Like I told you, I give it up to people like Bill Burr, Theo Vaughn, like the people that can do one-man podcasts.
Yeah.
Because I get mad preachy, mad preachy. But my preachiness, it doesn't make sense. Like, I'm preachy where I'm like, the first Mortal Kombat movie isn't that bad, and I have to tell you like 1,000 reasons why it's not that bad.
Yeah. Yeah, I could do it about movies maybe. But, yeah, you're right. Bill Burr's, like, Monday morning podcast or whatever, he'll just, like, rant about everything. And, yeah, I don't know if I have enough life experience to have that many thoughts about it to do a one-man thing.
Yeah.
But the interview format's really fun. I've enjoyed it.
Yeah.
But, yeah, so we talked about your start in stand-up, but, like, why do you do it? Like, you clearly love it, but is there a real personal why for you about why you do it?
I wish I could remember his name, man. I don't even think he still does stand-up. But he literally pulled me aside and he was just like, why be funny for free?
Mm.
And I like, God, man, it's like Ghost of Christmas Past. If I see him, I'm going to give him a big hug. Hopefully he's still alive. But he literally told me it was at the art bar. The guy literally just said there's no point of being funny for free. And I just keep that in my mind. Like, I love the craft. I love making people laugh. I love seeing my friends get better. Like, my favorite comedian is Brandon Rainwater, which is a Greenfield comedian. But, like, I remember when he started, just to see where of course, I took breaks. So, like, it's one of those things where, like, I took breaks. So every time I came back, it was just like, whoa, he's doing that now.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm just so proud of him, man. And then he does it clean. Like, not only does he not cuss, like his material's clean.
His material topics are not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Has jokes about mashed potatoes and you laugh. Like, like, what's funny about potato salad? Like,
Yeah, Brandon's great. He's for those who don't know, Brandon Rainwater lives in Greenville.
Black guy. You would think he's Indian, but nope, black.
Yeah, he's I feel like we're really lucky to have him run the joke show here in Greenville at the Comedy Zone, because it's a matter of time before he won't be doing that. I think. I mean, he's going to continue to grow his following and everything.
Which is weird because, like, I know you guys have the radio room and Adam
Schulte.
He runs that room.
Yeah, Adam's great too. I really like Adam.
It's like I want to come to the radio room, but then it's like I don't want to drive up here twice.
Oh, dude, the radio room's getting good, man.
Yeah, I saw it when you posted on your stories.
Dude, last night there was a good crowd. Well, there were a lot of people there, but they weren't really laughing. Like, our sets were just like tepid laughter sets. Nobody killed, which was weird. We were trying to crack the nut of the audience, but yeah, radio room is growing a lot. I
haven't been there in 4 years.
Yeah, you have to come up. You can crash on the couch, dude. We'll,
Thanks. I'll keep you up. I'll keep you up on that offer. But yeah, I haven't like been in radio room in like 4 years. The last time I was up there, I did a show with Brandon and Zane Mitchell. And that was the last time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's cool because we started. They were one of the first places to open up to comedy post-pandemic, and that was why we were able to do it so soon. I mean, a lot of parts of the country had nothing. Yep. So that was like late July, early August, and to see like how many people were there last night compared to that first night, I mean, it was like, a hostage interrogation room. Like, there was only like a couple people, just no laughs. I mean, and now it's really good. And there's been a lot of people that have continued to come back. So.
And you got a shot at your open mic. You have Habib's.
Well, that's Kelby's. So
I thought you ran.
Kelby runs it, but I help sometimes a little bit. But it's definitely Kelby's baby. But Habib's, yeah. Habiba's, how you want to pronounce it,
and Travis
Mediterranean
has
restaurant.
Coffee Underground.
Yeah, or Craig Holcomb as well. Travis was there too, I think.
Okay.
But yeah, Coffee Underground on Mondays, downtown Greenville. That's a really fun room that's starting to come back. And then I'm doing, the only mic I'm doing is like a private one here.
Yeah, rooftop.
At the rooftop.
Yeah.
And that one's a little different because it's like, it's not a business. So like, friends of comics and everything can, because like I'll probably get in trouble with the owners of the building. But so far it's been really fun.
Nice.
So yeah, we're trying to keep it going and keep people happy with, post COVID, and there seems to be a lot of young comics that want to come out. So
Craig got married, right?
What's that?
Craig got married, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Craig's married. We did after the open mic at Coffee Underground a couple weeks ago, they do karaoke at Sharky's.
Yeah.
And you've been to the karaoke on Thursdays,
Yep.
right? Afterwards, yeah. So we saw Craig and his wife cutting it up big time with karaoke. He's a good time, really good dude. So,
he's a funny guy.
But yeah, man. So your answer to why stand up is
just
about the money, the business, and the craft.
Yeah, of course, I like I said, I just love stand up. I love making people laugh. I love laughing, but in the back of my mind, I know it really is what that guy said. Just like, there's no point in being funny for free. And I think that was the nicest way someone's ever said, like, hey, you are funny. And
it's so nice to have those little bits of encouragement, like, because you don't really know where you stand exactly. You can trick yourself into thinking you're better or worse than you really are.
No, it humbled me immediately, because like literally 10 minutes later, somebody was like, "You're my mom's favorite comedian," and I was like, "Cool." And then she showed me her mom, and her mom was like a 70-year-old woman. I was just
so
like,
he basically that was saying like you're a really nice guy.
Yeah,
and like,
apparently. I don't know what she meant. Maybe she wanted me to like do stuff to her mom. I don't know.
Well, the moments that humble you in stand up are really interesting. Like when they come, and like, because you and I were at a show in Orangeburg, and I remember the night before, dude.
You did great, man.
No, I didn't. Dude. Okay.
For that room, you did great. For that room.
So we had a comedy competition at the Comedy Zone the night before, and I advanced, and I was
killed them.
Oh my gosh,
killed them.
Not really, but
so
I was feeling pretty good. I was like, okay.
Hug after that.
What's that?
I give you a hug after that.
I know, you're really nice.
COVID hug.
So we get to this bar and Orangeburg, like Roadhouse type bar, yeah. And there's just pool tables right there. The audience is kind of half listening. They're smoking in there, and I basically opened after Yunkel Boudreaux, and Yunkel Boudreaux was even having he was doing okay, but even he was having a hard time getting their attention. So I was like, oh crap. So I go up there thinking, okay, well I got this great set under my belt from last night, and bombed. Oh my gosh. I powered through the 10 minutes, but dude, I was getting strange looks. They didn't even know what I was saying.
You did great for that room. You did great for that room, man.
Lies, but that's fine. I appreciate that. But yeah, it tends to happen. Like right after you get a nice little nugget, you're like, oh, no, you suck. You should.
You did great. I'm serious.
No, but it's good to have those times when you get humbled. I mean, it's.
Like I said, it's just
it's good to get the feedback. I like the feedback.
Yeah.
You know?
I'm just happy for the rooms. Like for me, whenever I'm doing a bar, if I get people to stop looking at TV, if I can get people to stop playing pool, then I think I'm doing a great set. When it comes to a club, like I've never been booed on stage. I've never had anyone be like, "Oh, you're horrible."
Mm-hmm.
My idea is, if I keep them quiet, keep their attention, keep them laughing, I got it.
Yeah. That's a good attitude to have. I need to continue to learn that, because mostly I'm doing it at either a comic open mic or, Radio Room or Comedy Zone. But I don't have a lot of experience with those tough, weird situations where people might be eating or doing other stuff.
If you had to, let's say a pie measurement, what I'm talking about, like a measurement.
A pie chart? Yeah.
Pie, thank you so much. If you had to go in and do measure it, cut it off in a pie chart, how important do you think being interesting is? How important do you think it is to be interesting, funny, and determined?
Naturally funny, interesting.
Once you get on stage, let's say it's like a video game, and you had to put points on each one, and you have 100%. How much would you put into each part of the pie chart that equals 100%? Because I know a lot of people think it's just being interesting and funny, but when you're on stage, you do have to be determined, like, to make sure this is a great show.
I was tempted to say determined, but I was more thinking about determined as in that's your motor 24 hours a day. That's what keeps you coming back to do it. But determined in the act, that probably has to be high up too, because then you're not going to get flustered in the moment. And yeah, you can't even get to interesting if you're not determined, I don't think. And then kind of, you have to be funny too in how you're determined.
Oh, I definitely
like
I put more in funny.
Goofy and like,
yeah, I put way more in funny. I'll be like, ugh,
yeah,
ugh.
yeah, and having quick laughs at the beginning in a tight set. I mean, that to me is what I'm trying to get better at now, is tightening, and not being content with extended periods where there's no punchlines or no laughs.
I think Bruce said it best. He was like, always hit hard in the beginning. That way you already got them laughing. That way, like, now you can do all your story jokes. And they already trust that you're funny. So now when you throw out your story jokes, they're willing to wait.
Yeah.
But if you start at the beginning with story jokes, they're not really willing to wait, because how can we trust you to be funny if you haven't been funny from the beginning?
Yeah, absolutely. Start strong. You kind of have to. Now, if you weren't doing stand-up comedy, what would you be doing with is there any like other dream job or crazy thing you would be doing, or anything else besides?
Oh, I probably would have went back to school and I'd be like the funniest nurse. Or I'd be like the funniest engineer. Like I give myself a timetable. Like, I understand, like, if nothing pops off in a good bit of time, like, I will just go back to school.
Okay.
Like, yeah, like I said, man, my plan was to go back to school when I was going through my divorce, but I just got depressed. Not like horribly depressed, but I did get depressed, and just went through a little whole phase, and but yeah, definitely
whole phase.
Yeah,
I'm having a hard time picturing you go through a whole phase. No, nothing.
No, I feel you. I know what
Dude, Michael just gave you this blank stare. Like, you think I can't get women? Like, no, that's not what I meant. I was just like,
no, I understand. I know exactly what you mean. Like, I was surprised too.
Dude, when you stared back at me, I was like,
no, I was definitely surprised too. I was like, you like me? Shit, all right.
Oh god,
I like you too, and I'm like a hardcore chubby chaser. So whenever I'm like, oh, you want me? You want me? Not the guy with the muscles? All right, I ain't picking you up.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, chubby chaser all day, man.
Okay, so you'd be a nurse and just making people laugh? Oh, yeah, I'd
be a nurse or engineer. I'd be the funniest nurse or funniest engineer,
Okay.
But I would probably be an engineer. Like, if this doesn't work out, I know I will go back to school for engineering.
Yeah.
I just don't want to be a nurse.
Sure. Well, to that point, like, what are your goals in stand-up? Like, what does success look like to you? You say, like, popping off, kind of make, yeah.
To me, and this is... a lot of people judge stand-ups off specials. A lot of people focus on specials. But in general, I truly believe it is living a very comfortable life. For example, can you name one of Bruce specials?
I'm not a big fan of Bruce yet, so I can't, but I don't know if that's...
Okay, can you name one of Robert Kelly's specials?
No.
Can you name one of Bill Bellamy's specials?
Nope.
And my mindset is, I want to be famous enough where I can do 26 clubs twice a year, do a podcast, and own it. And when it's time to do a special, I own the special. I'm really big on the business side also, just because I've seen so many people and heard so many stories and met so many people that were like, no, we got screwed over.
Sure.
And my biggest thing is, and this is no way trying to bring race into it at all, but what I've learned is, like, to start doing like more black clubs and black bars and urban bars, is that I didn't realize until I had a conversation. I ain't gonna say his name. I don't want anybody to think anything negative about him, but I never realized till I spoke to him that he said, you know why they call these black rooms? And I was like, well, it's mostly black people in the audience. It was like, no. Why do they call places with mostly a white audience, why do they call those main rooms? And I was like, yeah, I never heard of a white room before. They just call main rooms. And he was like, yeah, that's the difference. He was like, you trust me, if you stay in these black rooms, you'll make a killing. But you won't make the real money till you can get in the main rooms. And he was pretty much explaining to me, he was like, you will always stay, you know, in the black rooms. Like Bruce will never lose money because he can always go to a black club. He always, and it was just like, for me, it was just like, I never realized like, yeah, you have to be funny to people that look like you before you can be funny to people that don't look like you. And like I said, I hate to bring race into it, but it went till that they told me that till I realized like, oh yeah, like before I can go over and be famous in these main rooms or try to sell a bunch of tickets in the main room, I definitely should like make sure I'm funny to people that look like me. Because Kevin Hart used to come to the Comedy House in Columbia 4 times a year before he ever made it big.
Wow.
So he already had like a big, like I ain't trying to be funny, but like I can't name that many people that watched Soul Plane at first that didn't, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look like me. So that was one of the biggest things where it never hit me. Like I never. Because I've heard of black rooms, but it wasn't until he explained to me, it was like, why don't they call those white rooms? They call them main rooms. And I was like, yeah, that's right. Every time I've ever heard of the Comedy Zone, they'd be like, that's a main room. You don't never think of it as like a black club. And I was just like, oh, okay, that's the difference. So right now I'm just really trying to get a strong, like, you know, I want everyone to like me, of course,
Right.
but I do want that black audience. And then I will go focus more on the main audience.
Sure.
So, and even I think Chris Rock hit on that too also, like, you making sure you have a strong black audience as a black comedian.
Yeah.
I'm sorry for hitting you with that. I know
no.
I know you're over here like, what is a black room?
Well, I'm thinking about, I know like when you perform in front of all black audiences, I usually say it like that instead of it being, I mean, it is kind of like I went to a club in Atlanta, Uptown Comedy Corner, way too early. I told this story, on the other one.
That's a tough room too.
Dude, brutal.
That's
the amateur comedy contest on Sunday night. I already mentioned it, but I got booed off stage at that room. But it was an all black room.
Were they nice to you after the show though? Like, keep trying it, keep doing it. Okay.
Yes. There was a woman who was outside smoking as I was leaving the club, and I was just devastated. Because the bit I do is an Instagram girl where I kind of bend over acting like an Instagram girl, and but my shorts I was wearing got wedged, so I picked my butt crack to fix the thing. I didn't even really pick it that bad, I don't think, but I just fixed it.
Is that the one K-Dub hosts?
K-Dub hosts it, but he wasn't hosting that night, but I had seen K-Dub there. Okay. Yeah. So anyway, they roasted me afterwards, and it was just booming laughter at me after I got off stage. So this woman who was smoking a cigarette outside, she saw me. I was just walking to my car by myself, and she said, "Hey," she said, "you did good." And I was like, "Really?" And she said, "Yeah, just don't pick your butt next time." So she was really nice afterwards. I didn't do well, but she still was a nice. And I don't know, they were really.
Yeah, I've never bombed and had a crowd not be supportive afterwards. They always like, we couldn't do it, so keep doing it.
And I stayed. I sat in my chair and waited. And sweet baby Kita, her. Yeah. She was in the back. Oh my gosh! I remember when I started that set. I'm sorry,
sweet baby Kita's super cool, man.
She's amazing, but she kind of heckled me a little bit, and I said I was kind of nervous. I said something about how I was nervous, just because I was clearly fish out of water situation, and she hollered from the back, "You better be!" Saying I was nervous, and I was like, "Oh crap! Let me just get into these jokes and get off." It wasn't mean, dude. I was like,
okay.
I mean, to be fair to the room, like the context of that contest is like, be funny or get off. I was not the only one booed off that night.
Okay.
It was like,
that's the most important thing of the
story. It was like competition, so nobody was doing that well. And it was funny when I watched the other comedians who were up there, they were more prepared to give it back to him. Like if they started to get groans, they would be like, "Shut your ass up," kind of deal. Or like,
is that your black voice?
Is that my?
That was amazing.
Am I canceled?
No, you sound like Lizzo. That's what I thought. Well, I thought you were gonna be like, "Why man gotta be great?" Like that's what I thought was the next part. That's hilarious.
Oh my gosh.
Dude,
it's way too, I don't ever know what to say.
No, that was hilarious. Like I can imagine that happening. Oh no, at the Comedy House, I've definitely had to like shut people up before. Like, yeah. It's like they want it. It's like you talk trash to them, they get it, and now they're quiet for the rest of the show. Yeah. That's how I feel about it.
So a lot of them gave back, yeah.
Yeah.
That was a black voice, I guess.
Yes, but it was hilarious. If you could make that a character, don't.
Don't? Yeah.
I'm joking. That's hilarious.
Advice? Yeah, just trying to not get in trouble.
No, that was hilarious.
Oh my
bro.
gosh!
That was hilarious.
Moving on, I guess.
No. How she said,
Shut your ass up.
All right. Don't you edit this out.
Don't you interrupt me. Oh my gosh.
Don't you edit this out. Don't you keep this in.
I guess I am.
You keep this
I don't
in.
know how big this audience is. Everybody just boop, turn it off.
No, it's totally fine. You know, did I ever tell you what my audience is for pop and culture? Like,
No.
At least audio wise.
What is it?
Audio wise, my people in South Dakota love my podcast. And that's where my first special is going to be shot. In
South Dakota?
Yes. According to Spotify, I have a humongous following in South Dakota.
I love it.
Yeah, man.
That'll be fun to do a show there.
Oh, yeah. Be like, hey, it's me.
Yeah. So you mentioned Richard Pryor. Who is your favorite comic? Is that him?
Oh, no, Brandon. Rainwater.
Brandon. Oh, you said that. Yeah.
But, like, you mean like famous comedian?
Yeah, sure.
Comedian would have to be Deion Cole and Deion Cole, Chris Rock. Of course, I got to throw Dave in there, Richard Pryor, and Bernie Mac, of course, and
Bernie Mac's
Robin
great.
Harris. Robin Harris was the dad on House Party. He died very young.
Okay.
Well, not young, but he died like before he peaked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know Robin Harris. Chris Rock is a guy that I recently watched his new special.
Yeah.
And I like his story. You know his story about his journey in stand up, and he kind of went away for a little while. I don't know when this was. Maybe 90s or something. And a lot of the comics that you see at like the New York and LA clubs hadn't seen him in a while, but he was just on the road getting really good. And then when he came back, he was like just a freaking killer. I almost didn't even recognize him.
Yeah. I mean, when you think about it, man, like everybody that was on SNL, like even Adam Sandler, like it's like some of the songs I like, some of the songs I don't like, but like they're comfortable on stage. Like they know how to perform, they know how to kill. And one comedian that I don't think gets a lot of credit is Rob Schneider.
Oh my gosh, I love Rob Schneider.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. Like I'm not saying he's the strongest one of the list, but like he's not a bad comedian.
Dude,
either.
I just think he's a good guy. I think he's goofy, just hilarious. Like I went through a little phase where I thought Adam Sandler movies were just so dumb, and Rob Schneider would be in it, and all of Adam Sandler's friends. But I love those movies now, dude. They're slapstick, they're stupid, but they're good. I think they're all friends in real life, probably.
I'm not gonna lie, man. I get people like don't give Adam Sandler enough credit. Like Adam Sandler truly has not forgot his friend.
Absolutely.
Like even he put Lavelle Crawford in movies now, and like Lavelle, I
love Lavelle Crawford
yeah,
too
like
now.
it's just you wouldn't think they became friends, but they became friends, and he puts them in a lot of stuff. Like, he doesn't forget people.
Yeah, no, that says so much about him because he's so independently wealthy now, like a lot, but like really big. I mean, I think he's like in the 400 million net worth category.
When you see how he dresses, you be like, that's the money I want.
Yeah.
Because have you ever seen a picture of him and his wife out?
Well, I've seen him in pictures with like cargo shorts and a hoodie.
I saw a picture where like his wife had to have at least like a maybe even a $5,000 dress on.
Oh, you're talking when they're dialed up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he has like basketball shorts on.
Yeah. That's what I'm referring to.
With like some like Dare shirt on, like the Dare not to do drugs, and like some like Shaq shoes on.
Yeah.
You'd be like, his outfit costs $45.
Yeah. I love that too, man.
Yeah, like
There's
that.
something about that.
But he still make sure like, all right, baby, if you want this $5,000 dress, it's in the budget.
Yeah, I kind of like where you don't flaunt.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Do you think if you made it big, what do you think you would flaunt on? For me, I think I would turn into a watch guy.
Watch guy? I don't have any really luxury taste that much. Like, I drive a Subaru. People think it's a girl car.
You already know about my car, so.
Yeah, paid for.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I don't want to spoil your joke.
No, did I ever tell you the story about that? Long story short, I drive a Chevy Spark, and this is a small car, and they wanted $13,000 for it. It's 2016 Chevy Spark. And I was like, look, I got $9,000 cash. That's all I really planned. Like, because I did my research on the car. I knew how much it was worth. Had 23,000 miles. Like, I knew what I wanted to pay.
Yeah.
Long story short, the guy that sold me the car, I found out he ended up getting fired. But what happened was, I was like, look, man, I got 9, look, just, what can I do to get this for 9? And he jokingly said, what you going to do, like jump over the car? Because I had basketball shorts on. And I was like, I can. And he was like, if you jump over this car, you can get it for $9,000.
So did you do it?
I jumped over the hood.
It's over the hood. There you
It
go.
still
He didn't
counted.
specify.
Yeah.
He didn't have to go to the.
Yeah, he still paid me $9,000. And literally, I heard like when they were doing like the I gave the cash and they were doing all the paperwork. I heard him talk to his manager like, "What?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Who's what?
Yeah.
He could have sold us."
Yeah.
And I'm sitting back like, I'm definitely gonna buy it for $9,000 now
For sure.
because I could sue you.
For sure.
So
But to answer your question, now I'm thinking about this. I wouldn't have anything like my grandpa is a watch guy. He loves watches, and that's his kind of thing. I don't have anything like that. But if I ever had like just money wasn't an object, I would want a lake house and like a boat that was close enough to like wherever I was doing whatever I was doing.
yeah.
I lived on a lake in when I first graduated. My company has the corporate office is right next to a lot of lakes, like all sport lakes in Michigan. And I bought a pontoon boat for I think $1,900. And we rented this place out. We had like 3 of us living there. We were all paying like $400 a month or something. I mean, so we felt like kings on the lake, man, just because, you know, it was ours. You know, we will go out to the sandbar. We'd have people over, family, friends, like just being on the water. That stuff's pretty pricey now, but yeah, I'll probably do that.
Yeah, that's good, man. So if you don't, man, it's your podcast. I don't know why I'm asking questions.
No, you can ask another one.
When it comes to going sober, I'm sober and
Yeah.
you're sober.
Yeah.
What? I'm not. It's nobody's business to know why we both went sober. But when did you become like? When did it hit you like? This is way easier than I thought it was going to be.
After I read the book, The Easy Way to Stop Drinking, and I haven't actually talked about sobriety on the podcast yet, but yeah, I stopped drinking just before I started doing comedy. It was kind of like a series of events happened around the same time where I don't think I ever had a really horrible problem with it. It was kind of like a weekend thing where like you just go out and cut loose. I grew up really sheltered in terms of no exposure to alcohol whatsoever until college. So when you're exposed to it, you overdo it. And I party really hard in college. And then, years following, it was kind of tempering back, but still, the hangovers. And as you get older, the hangovers get worse. And then last year, I realized that like the job I had was stressful during the day. And I was just, because I was unhappy outside of the job, drinking and partying with friends was just an outlet outside of that. And it was a really unhealthy one. There was something that I hadn't discovered yet that would end up being way more fulfilling, and that was being creative. And that's a unique thing, writing and being creative. You can do it in any different way, but if you're not doing it and you're wired that way, you can be freaking miserable. Yeah. So basically, long story short, the alcohol, I found I didn't need it, and it was way easier to stop than I thought once I discovered the being creative thing. And that took the form of kind of video editing at first, and then writing for stand-up, and then doing it on stage. And now I don't even have any temptation to do it. I don't really see the appeal anymore.
Oh yeah, nobody. Once you don't deal with hangovers, it's hard to like want to go back.
Yeah. And what about you? Tell me your story real quick, since you're flipping the interview on me. Okay. When did you get sober and why?
A year now. And
a year? Oh, dude, we're on the same. Okay.
Yeah. And long story short, I got. I'm not gonna say why. I'm not ready to say why. Sorry, I can't drop that on your podcast. Sorry about that.
No, it's fine.
But literally, I just remember waking up that morning and being like, I had 2 jobs. I woke up, had a horrible hangover. I didn't even call out. I just literally didn't go to that second job. They fired me, of course. And
oh wow.
Oh no, it's totally fine. It wasn't a good job. And I literally was just like, I cannot keep living like this. I do not want to live like this. Mm-hmm. And just stopped drinking just like that.
Wow.
Just literally just woke up and was like, nah, I'm tired of drinking.
Yeah. That's it did kind of hit me on one morning too.
Yeah. Like
that. It was I had to have that back surgery last year, and I would drink because that helped with the pain sort of. But it was just just one day before Labor Day where I had just, too many, and I woke up in pain because my back now, I was very aware of it. I remember I didn't know anybody, so I had met people at a couple bars and had hung out with them. And I remember I woke up thinking, these were total strangers. You're just opening yourself up to that. Like, what kind of judgment do you have right now, dude? Like, none. You're not. And that combined with, I was just like, dude, just grow the hell up, kind of. Yeah. And that's when I read that book, which is great for anybody who wants to. And then that combined with stand up as an alternative, that was like just something I love. That's healthy. I was like, dude,
nice,
no problem.
Hey man, you remember like when you were in college or whatever point in your life, have you ever been to like that bar that has like Dollar House Liquor Night or like
yeah,
man? Do you remember the people that treated that stuff like a challenge?
Yeah. Crush as much liquor as humanly possible, and it's just the worst tasting crap.
Yes, it's hard. Like shelf. It's like, put more orange juice in here, 'cause this is not.
Yeah.
Like this. I remember I used to just always just get doubles. Like there's no reason to get a single when it's $1. I'll just.
Yeah, man. Where I went to college was a small town, and not a lot of. There's not a ton of bars and restaurants. There's some dive bars there. And,
were you good at beer pong?
No. No, I have to get my college buddies on to talk about that. They all, I was never known for being good at beer pong. There were a couple guys in our group that think they're great. But no, what about you? Were you a good beer pong player?
I'm good.
You're good?
I'm good.
Okay.
I'm good.
Heck yeah. Yeah, you seem like you'd be pretty good.
It's a skill that doesn't mean anything, but I'm good at it. Like.
Yeah, flip cup?
Yeah.
The girls always like to play flip cup, I feel like.
Yes.
That's always at a party. I remember like the girls like, let's play flip cup.
It is a good way to get in.
Yeah. So you can flirt with a girl if you want to do that.
Yes. Can't dance, so you found your way in.
Well, dude, I love this conversation. We're going a little bit longer, but I don't mind at all, as long as it's 6. We got time before we go to the Comedy Zone. So the last 2 questions I have are kind of the heavier questions I asked, but what is your biggest regret in life?
This is gonna sound so like not right, but like none. And it's just one of those things where it's like I really feel like everything led me to be where I need to be. Like, and it's sad. It's a cheat answer, but
no, it's
everything
not.
I think of, like, man, I wish I, just like no, because
do you think things happen for a reason?
No, I'm not one of those people. 100% not for those people.
I was thinking we were about to go down like a fate,
no
path here.
No.
You're like,
no. It's way too many people on death row for that.
Completely random.
No.
Yeah.
Way too many people on death row.
Life's an accident.
Yeah.
No, I don't. We don't have to talk about all that.
No,
but,
I do not believe everything happens for a reason.
Yeah.
But I just can't ever be like, oh man, I should have made a better decision. Let me regret this. It's just more like, yeah, that probably would have worked out better if I did such and such, but I don't regret it.
I think it's actually a correct, like an appropriate answer for somebody who does stand up, because if you spend too much time dwelling on something that doesn't go right and regret it, you're not gonna continue to improve.
Yeah.
Because you're stuck in that. And people who do stand up probably like just go for stuff, and it's you up there trying to figure it out. So you kind of are trying to take control of your environment. And
funny story though, I had a friend. He had one of the strongest regrets, and I won't say his name, but like he'll probably watch this. He has one of the strongest regrets. Older guy too, but it's a good friend, older guy. Do you remember in, I want to say like the early or middle 2000s, where like Fanta had like these commercials? They had like Fanta girls.
Yeah, don't you wanna Fanta?
Yeah, he could have like married the orange one.
He married the one for the commercial?
He could have. Him and her were like serious.
Yeah.
And he was just like, I can't, He's like, I'm not ready for marriage. And long story short, I want to say it was the orange. Long story short, she's a scientist now. Like, she makes killing money. I want to say.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I forgot her name.
So he could have had a gorgeous Fanta model that is brilliant.
Yes, that just happens to be a scientist.
Oh my gosh. That's a big regret.
Yeah.
Whew. Yeah.
He's a plumber now, but good for him.
Yeah.
Love you, man.
He's installing people's toilets.
Yeah.
Plumber's not a bad job. My grandpa was a plumber. It's a noble profession.
No, 100%. I'm not dissing plumbers at all. One step below scientists.
Damn, Mike, you're such a a-hole.
Yeah, apparently.
Making fun of plumbers.
Yeah, no, guys, I promise you, I'm so sorry.
No, it's fine.
It's plumber and scientists, yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a couple of relationships where I regretted not just being too much of a knucklehead, and then I look at them now, I'm like, man, that would have been so. But whatever. I don't want
somebody else headache.
What's that?
Somebody else headache, right?
I guess. I think I was the problem.
Oh, okay, never mind.
But yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
Live and learn.
Yeah.
So last question: what is the best piece of advice you've ever received?
Man, if my uncle does watch this, have you seen House Party 3?
No.
Okay. Well, my uncle told me this, and then later on in life, I saw House Party 3. But in House Party 3, Bernie Mac says to the character kid, if people don't like you, f*** them. Be yourself. If people don't like you for being yourself, f*** them. And I'm so sorry for cursing, bro.
I'll bleep it out.
Okay. But
I'll put an actual beep in there so that we can get the point.
Okay. But yeah, my uncle told me that when I was young. And that was just the best advice ever. Just, be yourself, know when you're wrong, know when you're right, and just be happy. Whenever you can bring happiness. And whenever you're happy, just enjoy it.
Mm-hmm. I think that's great advice, man.
Yeah,
I think a lot of people.
Cursing, bro.
No, dude, don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Like I said, you should have seen the Kelby episode.
Okay.
I think he set the record for F-bombs. But I want everybody to be themselves.
Yes.
So F them.
Yeah. Yeah, because that was literally the quote. And it was just like,
because
when my uncle said it, I was just like, that is great. That is amazing advice. It sounds very simple. Maybe you shouldn't be telling this to a 9-year-old, but I get this. I get the point.
You're just like, yeah, yeah, f them, yeah. Being yourself is really a hard thing to do.
I think, when did you learn who you were? Like, what age were you? I was 25 when I learned who I was, so.
I had clues in my 20s. I think I'm closer now to understanding. I don't know if I fully am there. I think 31, because that was last year. 2020 was really a watershed moment for me. Just because, there's a whole long story with that. But yeah, I would say not until then. What about you? You said mid-20s?
Oh yeah, 25, definitely.
25.
Like I had not been a Jehovah's Witness for 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
I was like going through a divorce. I was literally lonely, and it just hit me like, all right, I better get to know who I am. So
yeah, I
got in fitness, I got in working out, I got in doing martial arts, I got in traveling. I got to do everything I wanted to do. By myself, and then the whole face and everything, and then just really got to get to know who I was, and I was like, man, I'm pretty cool.
Yeah, that's great, and it helps your self-esteem and everything.
Yeah,
I think stand-up is one of the best possible ways to get to know who you are, because you need feedback from people. Yeah. If you're just alone, I forget who said it, but there's a recipe for insanity, and it's being too isolated. We outsource sanity to the community. Jordan Peterson said that, so I'm stealing that from him. Yeah. But essentially,
he drops gems, man. I don't agree with everything he says, but he drops some mad gems.
He does. He's a very smart guy, and that occurred to me because I was kind of off on an island a lot in my 20s. I felt like I was wandering in the wilderness. But unless you surround yourself with good friends, or you get feedback from people, you're not really gonna know who you are, and you can drift into a direction that's kind of a bad spot. So. We outsource sanity to the community. That's how we know who's crazy and who's not. It's who's doing things that are in line with what the group is wanting to do. Not always. I mean, the group can be wrong. Yeah. But in general, you need that feedback to kind of calibrate how you operate. And in stand-up, you get that every day.
Yeah. I remember Jordan Peterson said, him and Joe Rogan both pretty much said the same thing, but it was put yourself in an uncomfortable situation and see how you react. Mm-hmm. So I was like, let me try this out. When I say I went to this nice restaurant at like 8 o'clock at night by myself, and I'm talking about couples everywhere,
Yeah.
families everywhere, and I'm just at this table in the middle. This dirty woman gonna sit me in the middle of everybody. I thought she would sit me in the corner by myself. I'm literally eating a steak in the middle, trying not to look at people, and then realize like, no, there's no reason to be uncomfortable. I literally put my phone, put my headphones in, start watching. That was when it was like Daredevil season 2, I believe. Start watching it, and I was just like, yeah, there's no reason for me like to feel weird about being by myself. Like,
yeah, I think
I
think the reason you're willing to do that is because you're creative. Like you're an artist. Artists, I think, do that. They go outside of the normal boundaries to see what's out there.
Yeah. Don't get me wrong. From the outside looking in, it'd be like, damn, he's lonely.
Yeah, dude, I've eaten in restaurants by myself all the time, man. It's fine. I go to movies by myself sometimes.
I do it. I tell you, as a family man now, no lie, I miss it.
Yeah.
I miss going to. What time do you go? You go like in the morning?
Oh, no, I'd usually go in the evenings, but that was actually before I was doing stand-up and movie theaters weren't open. So I would usually go like maybe on a weeknight when I don't have anything going on. I'm like, I'm going to go to the movie theater and get a tub of popcorn and just chill.
Nice, man. I think the last movie I went to see by myself was the first Tom Holland Spider-Man movie.
That's a good movie.
Yes.
Yeah, yes. I like that movie a lot. Kind of a playful take on Spider-Man.
Yes. I can't wait
really
till people
fun.
watch our movie review. You chose a great movie.
Oh yeah. Pop and Culture Podcast. Groundhog Day is what Michael and I talked about.
Yes.
The movie Groundhog Day, Bill Murray classic.
Yes. Watch it now. Watch it now. After you watch this, watch the movie.
Yeah. Well, anyway, man, that's great,
so
dude.
Good. I watched Osmosis Jones. Like right after I watched it.
Did you? Osmosis Jones is a
Don't
good
watch
movie.
Osmosis Jones. Don't watch that.
Yeah. Yeah, Groundhog Day, man.
Yes.
I could talk about that movie for a long time. I like that movie because he changes as a person, right? He finds out who he is and becomes a better version of himself.
When you had notes, I was like, he's ready.
Oh gosh. Yeah. Hopefully that's not too bad of a podcast. It'll be pretty good. But yeah, man, we can wrap it up here. Man, we went over an hour. This is great.
Okay.
I can tell you've done this before.
Well, I apologize, man. I didn't. I'm sorry for going over. Man.
No, dude, it doesn't matter. I love
cool.
it. I enjoyed the conversation.
Okay, cool.
But before we go, where can people find you? Social media and your podcast, everything else.
You can find me Michael Garrick on Facebook, and on Instagram, Mike G Comedy. My podcast, Pop and Culture, you can find on Facebook at Popping Culture, POPPINCULTURE. You can find on Instagram at Popping Culture 1. And like I said, the podcast is available on Facebook, YouTube, and anywhere you can listen to audio podcasts. And just follow me on social media. I have a good bit of shows coming up, so please come out and support.
Love it.
And please keep supporting his podcast. This is a great podcast, and I can't wait to see where it goes, man.
All right. Thanks, man. I appreciate the conversation and all the insight you brought. So thanks, everybody. Don't kill yourself. See you next time.